What if I told you there were 12 inventions that could have rewritten human history, but they were erased before you ever heard their names? From ancient superweapons to modern machines that promised free energy, each of these inventions had the power to change the world forever, until someone made sure they didn't. Today we're pulling back the curtain on 12 inventions that should have changed everything, but instead they vanished. And it all begins with a giant tower on Long Island, where Nikola Tesla tried to give the world limitless wireless energy. Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower. Imagine charging your phone right now without a cable, without even an outlet. Nikola Tesla dreamed of a world powered through the air itself, no wires required. In 1901, he began building the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island, a massive structure designed to broadcast wireless electricity across continents. Tesla believed energy should be free and unlimited, available to anyone who needed it. He had already proven wireless transmission on a smaller scale, lighting lamps without cords and sending power across short distances. Wardenclyffe was meant to scale that up, an entire global grid powered by the Earth's natural frequencies. But here's where history goes quiet. J.P. Morgan, Tesla's main investor, pulled funding once he realized there would be no way to meter on profit from free electricity without financial backing. The project collapsed. The tower was dismantled in 1917, and what could have been the foundation for today's wireless world was erased before it began. If you think losing wireless power was shocking, wait until you see what was hidden inside a clay jar buried in Mesopotamia. The Baghdad Battery. In the 1930s, archaeologists digging near Baghdad uncovered something that should not have existed. A clay jar sealed with asphalt holding a copper cylinder and an iron rod. At first glance, it looked like pottery, but when researchers tested it, they realized it worked exactly like a primitive battery. 2,000 years before Edison, before Tesla, before modern science, the people of Mesopotamia may have been generating electricity. Fill the jar with an acidic liquid like vinegar or grape juice, and the device produces a charge. Not enough to power a city, but enough to plate metals with gold or give off a tiny spark. The discovery raised questions that historians still struggle with. Who built it? What did they use it for? And why were these artifacts buried and forgotten? The official record offers no clear answer, yet the Baghdad Battery sits as proof that ancient civilizations may have harnessed electricity long before the modern age. But if a clay pot could spark power, imagine a material so strong it could survive a nuclear blast. Starlight. Sometimes history's most incredible discoveries don't come from billion-dollar labs, but from an ordinary kitchen. In the 1980s, a British hairdresser named Maurice Ward created something by accident that stunned the scientific world. He called it Starlight, a white, plastic-like material that could withstand extreme heat, even the intensity of a nuclear explosion. Demonstrations were jaw-dropping. Blowtorches blasting at Starlight left it unharmed. Eggs coated in the substance stayed raw inside while flames roared outside. NASA tested it and confirmed its potential, noting it could revolutionize spacecraft safety, fireproofing, and even military armor. And yet, you've probably never seen or heard of it. Why? Ward refused to sell the formula outright, fearing companies would exploit or bury it. He wanted a partnership where the invention would be used responsibly. When he died in 2011, the secret formula reportedly died with him. A material that could have changed how we survive disasters, lost to time. If you think losing fireproof plastic was tragic, the next invention promised infinite clean energy, and its erasure was even more controversial. Cold fusion. In March 1989, two electrochemists, Martin Fleischmann and Stanley Pons, stood before the press with a claim that sounded impossible. They announced they had achieved cold fusion, nuclear energy at room temperature. Unlike traditional fusion, which requires the crushing heat of stars, their tabletop experiment promised virtually limitless clean energy without radiation, without dangerous waste. For a brief moment, the world was electric with possibility. Headlines spoke of an energy revolution. Governments rushed to investigate, and labs across the globe scrambled to replicate the results. If true, cold fusion meant the end of fossil fuels, the end of oil dependency, the beginning of a new energy era. But within months, the narrative shifted. Replications failed, critics accused them of flawed science, and funding was cut. The science was ridiculed, pushed to the fringe, and officially dismissed. Yet even today, some researchers argue the experiment showed anomalies worth studying, anomalies that still defy explanation. The project collapsed, the hope faded, and the idea was buried. But not before inspiring another dreamer who claimed to build a car powered entirely by water. Stanley Mayer's water car. In the 1990s, an American inventor named Stanley Mayer unveiled a device he called the water fuel cell. His claim was bold. He had modified a dune buggy to run not on gasoline, but on water. According to Mayer, his system split ordinary water into hydrogen and oxygen with such efficiency that it could fuel the car indefinitely. Footage shows Mayer driving the vehicle, filling the tank with water, and insisting it worked. He even secured patents and attracted attention from investors and governments. If true, it was a discovery that could have rewritten the entire global energy industry. Then came the collapse. Mayer was sued for fraud, accused of manipulating investors, and ordered to repay money. Before further investigations could proceed, he suddenly died after a restaurant meeting in 1998. The cause was officially listed as an aneurysm, but the timing fueled decades of speculation. His prototypes vanished, his workshop was dismantled, and the water car faded into legend. A car that drank from a garden hose might sound unbelievable, but centuries earlier, a weapon existed that burned across the seas, and its secret was guarded more tightly than any modern patent: Greek fire. In the 7th century, the Byzantine Empire unveiled a weapon so terrifying it changed naval warfare for centuries. It was called Greek fire, a liquid flame that clung to ships, water, even flesh, and kept burning. Imagine being at sea watching waves of fire spread across the water itself, with no way to put it out. The formula was a tightly held state secret, passed only between emperors and a few trusted chemists. Chronicles describe battles where enemy fleets were wiped out in minutes as fire-breathing siphons sprayed their substance across the waves. Attempts to capture or steal the recipe always failed. Those who tried never reproduced it. When the empire eventually collapsed, the recipe was lost with it. Modern chemists have speculated it may have involved petroleum, quicklime, or even ingredients we no longer recognize. Whatever it was, Greek fire disappeared, taking with it one of the deadliest weapons in history. But while ancient empires guarded their secrets, the 20th century hid something stranger still: designs for aircrafts that seemed to defy gravity itself. Anti-gravity aircraft. During the 1940s and 50s, as jet engines were transforming aviation, whispers of something far stranger surfaced. Engineers and military insiders spoke of experimental aircraft that seemed to defy gravity itself. Some designs resembled flying saucers, complete with circular hulls and central propulsion systems. Others looked like discs balanced on powerful engines. One of the most famous was the Avro car, developed by a Canadian company under U.S. Air Force funding. It was supposed to hover silently and move in any direction, almost like a UFO under human control. Early prototypes were built, tests were run, but results fell short of expectations. Officially, the program was shelved. Yet rumors persist of classified projects that continued in secret. Blueprints and patents exist, then vanish from the public record. Some argue these experiments laid groundwork for modern stealth and drone technology. Others believe breakthroughs were hidden to avoid public panic or to maintain military dominance. Whatever the truth, the dream of anti-gravity flight never made it into civilian hands. And while those plans were locked away, another ancient machine was pulled from the sea that stunned scientists with how advanced it really was: the Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, divers off the coast of Greece stumbled upon a shipwreck that had been hidden under the sea for nearly 2,000 years. Among the treasures recovered was a corroded lump of bronze that didn't look like much. But once cleaned, it revealed something extraordinary: a complex arrangement of gears and dials unlike anything from the ancient world. The device became known as the Antikythera mechanism, and experts eventually realized it was an ancient analog computer. Turn its hard-cranked gears, and it could predict eclipses, chart planetary positions, and track the cycles of the Olympic Games. Nothing like it would appear again for over 1,000 years. Its existence rewrote what we thought we knew about ancient technology. But here's the mystery: no other examples have been found, and its creators remain unknown. Did this represent a lost branch of scientific knowledge, or was it the lone survivor of a tradition deliberately erased? The Antikythera mechanism proved that ancient minds could build computers, But centuries later, a rumor would emerge of a machine that could peer not into the skies, but into time itself. The chronovisor. In the 1960s, a story began circulating inside the Vatican that sounded closer to science fiction than religion. A Benedictine priest named Father Pellegrino Ernetti claimed he had helped build a device capable of looking into the past. He called it the chronovisor. According to Ernetti, the machine used a combination of antennas and special alloys to pick up echoes of past events still lingering in the fabric of the universe. With it, he said, they could watch history unfold, from ancient Roman plays to the crucifixion itself. The story gained traction when a supposed photograph of Jesus was released, allegedly captured with the device. Skeptics dismissed it as myth, a blend of faith and imagination. The Vatican has never admitted such a machine existed, and no physical evidence of the chronovisor has ever surfaced. Yet the claim lingers in the realm of suppressed inventions, raising the question, if such a device was real, would it be revealed or hidden forever? Legends of time viewing machines are strange enough, but the next invention was far more practical. A solar-powered car that appeared decades before electric vehicles were supposed to exist. The photoelectric car. Long before Tesla Inc. or modern EVs, inventors were already experimenting with ways to harness sunlight to power vehicles. In 1912, an American inventor named Charles Fritz, one of the pioneers of solar technology, demonstrated the first photoelectric car. By mounting selenium-based solar cells onto surfaces, he showed that sunlight could be directly converted into electricity, enough to drive a small motor. The idea was groundbreaking, decades ahead of its time. Newspapers briefly reported on it, engineers took note, and yet the concept quietly disappeared. At the time, fossil fuels were cheap, the automotive industry was booming, and solar power was dismissed as inefficient compared to gasoline. No funding, no support, and the photoelectric car became a forgotten footnote. What makes this story unsettling is not just that it existed, but that it proved humanity had alternatives over a century ago. Instead, we doubled down on oil dependency, delaying renewable energy revolutions by decades. And if that feels frustrating, the next erased invention pushes it further. A mysterious metal so strong and lightweight, some believe it may not have been from this earth. Orichalcum. Ancient Greek texts describe a metal that shone almost like gold, priced second only to the real thing. Plato mentioned it when describing Atlantis, calling it the material that covered temples and walls in a gleaming red light. For centuries, historians dismissed it as myth. Then in 2015, a shipwreck off the coast of Sicily was discovered carrying ingots of a strange copper-zinc alloy. Analysis suggested it could be the legendary orichalcum, stronger than bronze, more dazzling than copper. It seemed to confirm that ancient metallurgists had secrets lost to time. Whether legend or science, the alloy faded from history, leaving only fragments and mystery behind. And while metals disappeared beneath the sea, one inventor on land claimed he had created something far more terrifying, a weapon of pure energy that could destroy anything in its path. Tesla's death ray. Nikola Tesla's name surfaces again, but this time not for free energy. In the 1930s, near the death of his life, he spoke of an invention he called the Teleforce weapon, later nicknamed the death ray. According to Tesla, it could shoot concentrated beams of particles powerful enough to bring down aircrafts from miles away, even stop armies in their tracks. Tesla insisted it wasn't science fiction. He claimed he had working designs and even tried to pitch the weapon to governments as a way to end all wars by making invasion impossible. No country ever bought the idea outright, but after his death in 1943, U.S. officials raided his hotel room and seized all of his papers. Many remain classified to this day. The death ray faded into silence, locked away in mystery, but humanity kept stumbling across other puzzles. One of the strangest appeared carved into stone, images that seemed to describe technologies far beyond the time they were made. Across centuries, ideas have surfaced that could have transformed everything, only to be silenced, hidden, or forgotten. Some were practical, some were legendary, all of them powerful enough to make us wonder how different the world might look if they had survived. Which one do you think really existed? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe if you love more videos like this.